Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of BTOP Live. I'm happy to be here with you guys again this week. Glad to have you today. I got a really cool guest for us today. His name is Kevin Lammerding. I never can say his name right. Lammerding. I think a lot of people call him Lambo. So I might have that wrong, but he hails from Spokane, Washington, and he has a podcast, which I'll let him tell you about when we get on the show. In fact, I was recently a guest on his podcast. I will be bringing him on in just a minute. Kevin, he is patiently waiting. Hey, man.
Yeah, buddy. How's it going?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. Yeah, appreciate you having us on, or having me on. I'm used to having my co-host with me, and he's not here right now. So
let's talk about you, man. So to begin with, if people watching, Kevin is in Spokane, Washington, right?
Yes, correct.
Because I got that wrong. I said Seattle because when you're from Oklahoma,
we don't like those on the other side of the state.
Yeah. So, and you have this really cool podcast, Hawkast One Radio Podcast. Before we dive into the podcast, let's tell us a little bit about how what your history is with baseball that ultimately led you to amateur baseball, that has led you to podcasting about baseball and other things.
Well, if you go back, you can also check it out on the Hawkast One Radio Podcast, episode number 5. But I, grew up playing Little League Baseball in Montana, moved to Clarkston, Washington, and played high school ball there, played college ball in American River Community College in Sacramento, transferred to Big Bend Community College in Moses Lake, Washington, and then the University of Jamestown, go Jimmies, in Jamestown, North Dakota. Was an All-American my senior year, and then after that we were, kind of just done playing ball. They had an amateur team or an amateur league there in North Dakota, but they weren't affiliated with anybody at that time. I believe that they are now, but at that time they were not. So after that we were just done playing ball. So when I moved back home, started playing softball like most everybody does, and I didn't really know that there was a league, an MSBL league there. And so one day a buddy of mine calls me up, says, "Hey, you want to play baseball?" And I was like, "Sure." I said, "You play batting practice, or is it like a pickup game? What is it?" He says, "No, it's an actual league." I go, wait a second. We've known each other for how long, and you have never told me that you're actually playing actual baseball?
Right.
So went out, tried out, and made the team, and now I run my own team. I'm part of the board, and it's the Inland Northwest Men's Baseball League. Playhardball.org is our website, but that's just kind of how I started.
Well, so how do you go from college ball, amateur ball, field coordinator, and then what's the process? You're like, hey, I think I want to do a podcast. Like, how did that even come up?
Well, me and my buddy Albert Garza, Nomad Pro Custom Gloves, we talk on the phone every day. We talk baseball, we talk strategy, we talk the team. And I was listening to a Bert Kreischer podcast, comedian, and he had said something about it's the very fine and produced podcast he doesn't really like. He wants to listen to something fresh, something original, something that two clowns can put together. And I said, hey, I can be one of those clowns and do a podcast. So I had bought some stuff off of Amazon, and Albert and I actually did the first show in my garage on my phone that I'm holding in my hand, and that was our very first show. And so then we got the stuff from Amazon. We each got mics. We were bored because of COVID. That was kind of the real reason that we wanted to start the podcast, but also to promote the league, like you had said before. If two people listen to it that didn't know anything about the league and they start playing, then it's a success. Right. But we've grown to, we went to $75 or $100 microphones, and now we have $500 microphones. We have a full recording Roadcaster Pro is what it is. Yeah. Soundboard, and then all the editing and all that stuff is all me. So We've come a long way from the cell phone on a beer can in the garage.
Right.
Yeah,
So
the editing for us really isn't. We try just to have a normal conversation. We have had some shows where we've talked over each other with a guest on the phone. So I've had to kind of edit out that, that little 3 seconds where we're talking over each other. But normally I just post what we talk about and put a couple breaks in there for some ad reads and then go about it. So it's
right.
not bad for the audio part. As what we'll do is we will start videoing and we'll just send them to you, and then you can edit that and do all that for us.
Yeah. To add more to my plate there. But
Yeah, there you go.
That's 5 people that hopefully are getting new information, getting new resources, and are just simply being encouraged in this endeavor to keep going, because as our bodies get older, we start to feel it. Even though we feel younger in our minds, and we don't want to give up this game we love, we need things like this to keep us encouraged, in my opinion, to keep playing. So
Yeah, there's a lot of guys who kind of stop living life. Once they're done with ball, they start their family, and not that that's stop living your life, but if they still have that ambition to go out and play, we're just trying to get the word out for them to broadcast that there is leagues to play in all over this country, and I try to promote the best I can on the web, on the podcast, as well as our Facebook pages, just to get the word out. Hopefully more people can hear that and do what we do and keep playing the game that you and I love.
all right, guys, that was Kevin Lammerding. Don't throw the B in there, but you can throw the B in there if you call him by his nickname, which is Lambo. Please go check out Kevin and Albert's podcast, Hawkast 1 radio podcast, and you can find that wherever you get your podcasts. I appreciate you guys for watching. Again, the BTOP bow hats are out. All right, guys, you guys have a good night. I'll see you guys on next Sunday.